Well. How's it going, guys? I'm back. It's the Jerry Bear. Today's date is Wednesday, June 26, 2024. Great to be back after a 3-month hiatus. Hope you've all been doing well. So, there's a lot to go over, but I'm not going to cover everything in this daily rant. The next scheduled Sunday video update will be on July 7th, 2024 at 3 p.m. It's the day before my birthday. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel and make sure that you're subscribed for at least a week so that way you can join in the chat log when I go live on that Sunday, and click all on the notification bell to be notified of everything on this channel when I go live, when I upload new videos. New content is definitely coming now that I am back home and taking care of things. And, of course, I will indulge a little bit on why I was away for 3 months. There's a lot to talk about. There's a reason for that. But anyway, why I'm here now. Usually I use these occasions to publicly call out individuals, but that's not what I'm here for this time. Something happened while I was away. And I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit and to get some thoughts out and to express my sentiment to the family of this individual that I'm going to talk about. Tom Mitchell, Tattoo Tom, died on April 18th. It came as a bit of a shock to me when I found out. I read about it on Facebook. My jaw hit the floor. I was like, oh my God, that was my initial reaction, like, oh my God, what the fuck? I wasn't heartbroken, but I was in shock. Like, wow. It was one of those wow moments, like, really? He's fucking dead. Like, what? How did that happen? Now, of course, I don't know how he died, and I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to take shots and guesses, and no, I'm not going to do that because it would be wrong of me to speculate. Not to mention, I don't want to run into any legal trouble with doing that. I don't know how he died, and I'm not going to make any guesses. But what I will say is that my sympathies go out to his children, his parents, his siblings, nieces and nephews, and that's as far as that goes. That is the extent of my sympathies. His cult following, nah, I don't care. I don't care about them. Now, despite our many differences, and you guys know I've been coming on here on my YouTube channel openly talking about Tom Mitchell, calling him out, and discussing things, between daily rants and Sunday video updates. Despite our differences, at the end of the day, Tom was still a human being. I didn't hate the man. I don't think he hated me. He might have had a strong disliking of me. He may have even had a strong disgust for me, which now is irrelevant. But I don't think we really hated each other. At least I didn't hate him. I never hated him. But I questioned a lot of things that he did because it just didn't seem right. I never hated him. I'm not sad or bereft personally of his passing, but when I learned of his death, I wasn't jumping up and down in joy and glee and acting as though I had claimed victory over him in some way, because that's just disgusting and wrong. And although I may be an asshole most of the time, I'm not that kind of an asshole, not to that extent, not to that degree. And I wanted to use this time to express my sympathies to the Mitchell family in the off chance that they may be listening to this. I can't say they are or they're not. This video may be shared out to them and they may be listening to this. But despite the many differences that Tom and I had, at the end of the day, he was still a human being. He was still someone's father. He was someone's son. He was someone's brother. He was someone's nephew. He was someone's something. And I'm really sorry for the loss, for them. I'm not happy or glad or ecstatic that he's no longer here. Because the very last thing I would have ever wanted to happen to him was death. And now here we are. He's gone. I I understand that his children are now without both of their parents and a sister. And I'm not here to pick on them. I'm not here to throw stones. Tom and I did enough of that when he was still with us. I'm not here to go after his children or his parents or his family. I'm not here for that. Hell, I'm not even here to go after the members of the Still Brave organization. I'm not here for that. I'm here to express my sympathies and my condolences to his actual family, mainly his kids. Because, I know what it's like to lose a parent. Now I do. My mom's been gone for 8 months and I'm still having a hell of a time dealing with it. So on that level, I can understand. And I'm not here to pick on his kids. I'm not here to belittle anyone. I am here, however, to just express my sympathies and my condolences and to tell his kids and his family that I am sorry for their loss. I never hated the man. I say emphatically, I never hated him. I never wanted to see anything tragic happen to him. Although I questioned a lot of the things he did, which I'm allowed to have an opinion, just like he probably questioned a lot of things I've done. And I would have been perfectly fine with him asking me questions. I would have been perfectly fine with him even going on public record to call me out. Because I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But at least I would have admitted, hey, maybe you're right. Maybe I did go a little bit overboard here. Maybe I did go a little overboard there. Maybe I did this wrong. Maybe I didn't do this right. I would have been man enough to have that conversation with him, and I was just looking for clarity. I was looking for answers, and more importantly, the truth. My feelings about the Two Feathers Society thing has not changed. His death didn't change that. Because now these people, this cult following, now they got to have a new ass to kiss and a new cult to join. So that didn't change anything. His death didn't change my thoughts or my feelings about the Two Feathers Society. It didn't even change anything about Carefest. Because I know, they put him on a pedestal like most of the cult following. I mean, I was told that everybody's, posting on his Facebook page, treating it like a shrine, and they're treating him as though he was Jesus and walked on water and could just so much as touch a child and carry him. And that, it's exaggerating, of course, but that's how they're portraying him even in death. If you understand hyperbole, I was speaking hyperbolic language there by saying, he could so much as touch a child. I mean, you understand, touch a child, cure him of cancer, that kind of thing. That's hyperbole. Of course, I don't mean that literally. But you get the idea. He did great things. Okay, he did some pretty good things, remarkable things. But he's not the only one who did. There's lots of people who have. But, even still, he was a father to, I think, 6 or 7 kids. He was someone's son. He was a brother. He was a nephew, an uncle. He was still someone in the overall grand scheme of things. He was still someone. He was a human being. Now, we said some things to each other. And we actually, I think we did apologize before we went south again on the friendship. I think we did apologize to each other. I told him, I said, look, my mom died. Let's just bury the hatchet and start over. For a while, I thought he was cool with it, and I thought we were getting somewhere with the friendship, but as it turns out, not. But that's okay. That's fine. That's the way he wanted it. It's whatever. He's not here to defend himself, so, I'm not going to, rehash old memories too much because it's just not fair. His kids shouldn't have to listen to this bullshit anymore. As far as I'm concerned, the fight is over. I'm not going to really talk much about it anymore now that Tom's gone because it's just not fair to him. He's not here to defend himself, and I don't want to put his kids or his family through that kind of thing. It was a fight between Tom and myself. It had nothing to do with his family. It may have had something to do with his cult following, but it was a personal back and forth exchange between me and Tom. The man's gone. I mean, by what I understand, he was a pretty young guy, in his early 50s, I think. He was just a young guy. It's terrible for his family. But again, like I said, and I can't emphasize this enough, I wasn't happy to hear about his death. I wasn't, jumping up and down and like, no. I may be an asshole, like I said, but I'm not that kind of an asshole. I'm an asshole because I speak up in opposition to what other people think. That makes me an asshole, and I'm okay with that. But we're talking about someone's life ending tragically, however it happened, I don't know. But he was a young guy. He had a lot of life left ahead of him. I'm not going to praise him. He's got enough people doing that now. But I just wanted to come on long enough to say to his children and his family, I'm sorry for your loss. And that's the extent of it. Personally, like I said, I'm not sad or bereft of his passing. Everybody dies. It's a shitty thing, to have to go through, but that's life. We all have to die eventually. I hope his family can find peace in the years, months, days to come. Grief is a motherfucker, man. I'm still grieving over my mom. I was just chastised the other day because I had openly grieved about my mom on social media. I mean, people actually will chastise you for grieving publicly. Well, my mom and dad died and I don't post this shit on Facebook every day. Well, guess what, motherfucker? That's you. That's you. And mind you, this is coming from my neighbor who lives like 5 or 6 houses down the road from me. It's like, wow. Be a bitch. Goodbye. Blocked. Fuck you. I mean, how dare you say that to me? I'm not here to belittle his children or to berate his children for grieving, whether it be on social media or just anywhere. I'm not here to berate them or belittle them. Grief is very real. It's a very real thing. It's a very real human experience. And again, for one last time, I am very sorry for his kids and his parents and his immediate family, but that is the extent of my sympathies. I'm not personally affected by his death either way, although I was a bit shocked when I learned about it, because I was hoping that Tom and I could have at least patched things up and try to make a go of it one more time before, something unexpected happened, and unfortunately, it just didn't happen. But anyway, guys, I've got to get going. I got some other things I got to get done. It is great to be back here on YouTube. Like I said, I'll be going live on Sunday, July 7th. I was going to go live this Sunday, but it's like, I want to take a weekend and just kind of relax. Sunday, July 7th, it's the Sunday before my birthday, July 8th. Catch me on Sunday, July 7th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you're subscribed for about a week, and then you'll be able to come into the chat log, and we can have a conversation and talk about things. And there's going to be a lot to talk about on that Sunday. I'm not going to give hints or anything here in the Daily Rant, but you're just going to have to watch the Sunday video update on Sunday, July 7th, because that's when I'm going to talk about everything going on. So that's about all I have for now. My sympathies and condolences to the Mitchell family, and I hope they find peace in the time to come. So I love you all very much, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, toodaloo!